Hello, my name is Jerry Wise, and I'm a relationship expert. I've been helping individuals, couples, and families for close to 40 years now. And I'm the director of the Center for Self-Differentiation and also the director of Jerry Wise Relationship Systems, which you can find me at that website as well as YouTube channel. And today I'd like to talk about the traits of a spouse of a narcissist. I'm fortunate enough to be out here at the Omni Resort in Paradise Valley, Arizona. It's a little chilly today, though we've had some nice weather, but it's gotten a little cool out here today. In fact, I think there's some people that jumped in the pool. It's a little cool for me to jump in the pool, but you could hear them in the background, I suppose. This video is a list of traits regarding spouses of narcissists. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's a list of traits I wanted to share with you if you've been in a relationship with a narcissist. And I wanted to also say this video is for those who have been in a relationship with a narcissist all the way. There's a continuum of narcissism from malignant narcissists way down here on this end all the way down to someone who has the traits of narcissism but not full-blown personality disorder. So I realized that some of the information I'm going to share would not apply to everyone exactly wherever that narcissist falls on that continuum. There are different things you would do if you were in a relationship with a malignant narcissist. There's some things you might do if you were in the relationship with someone whom had some traits of narcissism or counterdependence, or someone who's kind of self-absorbed. So it's sometimes difficult to do a video kind of in the middle of the road, because that's why you need to work with someone specifically and individually in your case. Not all of the things that I would share would match your situation exactly. That's why you need to work with someone individually. But I'd like to talk in general about the traits of someone who's in a relationship with a narcissist, or S.O.N, spouses of narcissists, sons. I'd really like to give some credit to the book by Wendy Bahari and her book Disarming the Narcissist, Surviving and Thriving with the Self-Absorbed. It's a very, very good book. I'd recommend that to you. You might check that out. There are a few things I've lifted from the book. Most of these ideas are mine, but there's a couple things, and I wanted to give her credit if I'm using any of her material. She really provides some great advice for those many, many spouses of the self-absorbed, which includes the narcissistic spouse. There's many things I'd like to reshare from her work and several of my own, as I've said. I've worked with many spouses who are married to the very self-absorbed, and to those who have had narcissistic husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, even friends, pastors. Narcissists are everywhere and can be in any part of our society. It can be difficult to deal with them. This is for the spouses of someone who's in a deep relationship with a narcissist. So what are some of the traits of a spouse of a narcissist? Well, spouses find narcissists to love and to resolve their childhood issues. We find narcissists to try to work out our childhood and past material that's within us, unconscious material, psychological material, and we hook up with a narcissist, and we repeat the patterns again from the past, but it also is a warning to us and a way that the universe helps us to begin to work on those issues, because we're in a very difficult relationship and we need to face those issues. So spouses, again, are attracted and love narcissists to try to work out some of those issues. And I hope that the spouses will see it that way. Second of all, spouses of narcissists may be very strong people. They suffer from low self-differentiation. They don't have a lot of self in there. And for them, enmeshment or fusion or codependency is very easy. Whereas autonomy and detachment and separateness is very difficult emotionally for spouses of narcissists. Thirdly, spouses have few, if any, personal boundaries. They either don't feel they're worthy of having boundaries, or they don't feel they can even keep them or declare them. They will often be used, disrespected, abused, ignored, disempowered, but cannot draw a line in the sand that they can keep. And they become very frustrated about that, sometimes can become very hopeless, and it can be very difficult for them to keep up a positive outlook when they just feel that they cannot set those boundaries with the narcissist. And again, it's not because they're weak or soft or uninsightful or stupid or dumb. It's because of none of those reasons. It is due to their own emotional field, which is that unconscious part of us, and the family of origin past which we have grown up in, and those unconscious, unresolved issues is why we can't set and maintain boundaries. So the bad news is we can't set and maintain boundaries. The good news is if we resolve some of those issues, we will begin to organically set boundaries, become stronger, and begin to work our way out of a very difficult situation. Fourthly, spouses of narcissists have a bent towards dissociation and observational blindness. And that dissociation is learned early. And we have learned just to leave our reasoning, to leave our thoughts, to leave our awareness, and even, in severe cases, to leave our bodies. Dissociation is we just take off from ourselves because it's so painful and so difficult. Whereas observational blindness is not seeing our own part in the relationship pattern and how we pretzeled together, this pretzeling between us and the narcissist. And we don't see that, and we don't understand that. And so with that observational blindness, we'll make poor choices and think this is the right way to go, or this is what I should do, when really that's not a good solution. That solution is coming out of our pretzel life, in which we're all intertwined with the narcissist. And again, we do this dissociation, we do this observational blindness to take us away from the bad that is happening in our lives, much like we did when we were growing up as children in family of origin. Fifthly, spouses of narcissists feel trapped in entanglements and triangles with kids, because they have kids with the narcissist. They have biological connections in that way. And also business connections. And I've known some in which they're both working together in the same business. Well, now we've got even that connection. And how can I deal with the narcissist now that I have kids, now that we're in business together, and all these kinds of things with a family business. We have emotional triangles and entanglements with in-laws, family of origin from each of us, our friends, the flying monkeys that come in from all over places. And so we end up with many loyalties, and it's hard to see the forest for the trees because we've got so many different entanglements going on all at once. It seems very, very overwhelming. And we also may have some positive relationships with the narcissist family. There may be some support in that family for us. Our own family of origin may have some people who support us and some who don't. We have friends who support us and maybe some who don't. So it's a very complicated map that we look at, and how do we grow out of that? How do we progress out of that? Spouses of narcissists have low self-love and very low self-acceptance. They are very harsh with themselves. They're very critical. They're very hard on themselves, and also they don't know about how to love themselves. And if we don't know how to love ourselves, we will find someone who doesn't know how to love us either. If we don't know how to love ourselves, then we'll find somebody who doesn't know how to love us either. I wanted to repeat that. Seventh, spouses of narcissists tend to be other-focused or caretakers. They're the worriers. The spouses are the supporting cast members in this narcissistic, self-absorbed play. And we play that supporting cast role for their lives. They're the center and we kind of orbit around them. That gets very tiring, it gets old, also it doesn't meet our needs, and not much comes our way. Spouses of narcissists tend to be shame-based and guilt-based, extremely. We always feel we have done something wrong, which is guilt, and we always feel they're... And so spouses of narcissists tend to be shame-based, guilt-based. We always feel we have done things wrong, which is guilt. And we always feel there is something defective about us. That's shame. We are wrong. We are bad. Ninthly, spouses experience high unconscious and sometimes conscious chronic anxiety, which produces tons of reactivity within the spouses of narcissists, and will cause all kinds of arguments and all kinds of things that will happen as a result of that chronic anxiety that comes from all the unconscious things that we're not dealing with. Tenth, spouses of narcissists tend to have their awareness and their subjectivity was shaped by learning narcissistic relationships as the norm growing up and also into our adulthood with relationships. 11, number 11, spouses of narcissists exert major efforts to change the narcissist for the better. And they work on a more the better. The harder I try, the better it will be. Trying harder will work. Pushing and pulling will affect a change. Distancing and enmeshing will improve the relationship if I will just do that in the right combination. Trait 12, the spouse of a narcissist does not feel special and have few needs, trying to eradicate their own needs. They have few respect and empathy needs, but they crave respect, empathy, but suppress those all of the time so that they won't get in the way of the relationship, because empathy needs and respect needs don't go well in a narcissistic relationship. Number 13, spouses of narcissists tend to over-empathize, and these are the people narcissists target for supply. If you're empathetic and you tend to over-empathize, then the narcissist is going to seek you out and find you, because that's who they want. 14, spouses of narcissists tend to settle for the crumbs at the banquet of life and are very cheap, in quotes, emotionally. Just a very, very little emotional love bombing or emotional positive coming from the narcissistic spouse goes a long way. In other words, the narcissistic spouse say, honey, I really do love you. And then for 3 months, they don't need to hear anything else because they've gotten that little crumb, and now they'll live on that for quite some time. And the narcissist hopes that they will. 15, the spouse of narcissists tend to view entitlement by others, such as the narcissist, as a strength. There's something inside of them, oh, that looks strong. And they have a strong direction, or they have good control, or they have strong self-love. And it's kind of impressive when you see the narcissist and how they function. You go, ooh, I'm kind of attracted to that because they're a strong person, and I'm not really that as a spouse of a narcissist. So I almost see that in a very positive light. And then we will gravitate toward them as well. 16, spouses of narcissists have a difficult time with the fear of confronting others, especially their narcissistic partner. They know shame-shedding event is going to happen if they confront or share their own needs with the narcissist. Shame-shedding is going to happen, and the narcissist is going to feel shamed, and they're going to take it out on the spouse. Well, so Jerry, what should spouses of narcissists do to heal? And again, I haven't shared all the traits that are possible, but these are some of the traits of spouses of narcissists. And so what would be your advice, at least to start with? And we can do a whole nother video on what advice we would do, and I'll do that for you. First of all, I wouldn't do couples therapy or couples coaching. If you do that, things tend to stay hidden. People get bullied. It's show-off time for the narcissist, or it's time to be charming and put on an act. Or it's time for the narcissist to be intimidating, or these type of moves, so the focus will not be on them. Secondly, work on self. Self-differentiation work is most important. You can begin to read Jenny Brown, Growing Yourself Up, Harriet Lerner books, and books such as those that will help you begin to focus on real self-differentiation. Thirdly, begin to reduce feeding the beast. Begin to stop providing the details of your life, feelings, dreams, hurts. Stop putting your heart out there for the narcissist to pound on. We need to keep that within ourselves. Fourthly, examine and explore how you got here with a really good family of origin coach or therapist. This work will definitely give you the clues for your next step and to begin to get your life unstuck. Fifthly, remember, narcissistic abuse is not about an overreactivity to the normal ups and downs of relationships, nor is it complaint about uncompatibility or mere emotional unavailability in relationships. Narcissists tend to want to harm, and their inability to change and their sadistic nature, it's about extreme chronic devaluation, control, sabotage, and disrespect. That's what it's about. And number 6, as spouses of narcissists are survivors. See yourself as a survivor. Your trauma is real. Your trauma bond with the narcissist is real. Begin to bond with healthier others. Recovery groups, friends, supportive church friends. Increase me time. Increase self-pleasure. Get a good therapist or coach that you can begin to bond with them rather than the narcissist. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to sign up for information that I'd like to send you. Watch the 150 videos I have on YouTube. I hope you will join our YouTube channel. Sign up to be on my mailing list at www.jerrywiserelationshipsystems.com. There's going to be some new workshops coming out that are already done. They just need to be posted, and you'll be able to watch them. And I'll send those to you if you're on the mailing list. So I hope you will keep in touch with us so that we can contact you with this information. I feel very thrilled to be out here in Arizona. I had a reception that I needed to attend this past week, which was wonderful, out here in Paradise Valley. The mountains are behind me. The pool's back there. I think they've got 3 pools here or something. It's an incredible location. The Omni Montelucia Resort, which is quite beautiful. I'd like to return sometime. I hope the video has been a help to you in some way today. I realize I'm starting to lose my light. We were trying to get this done sooner, and the light, when it starts to get dark, it starts to get dark quickly. and I may have missed that time spot. But I do want to tell you, I hope that this has been a support and a help to you. Please watch those other videos, and thank you for watching today, and have a great day.